You're in sales and you feel like you're about to just blow it all away. You can't cold call anymore. You're sick of the hang-ups and you want to know how to reach the next level. Look, I'm here to tell you today, you don't have to blow it up and you don't have to blow yourself up. What you really need to do is become a sales savage. You know, I've been talking to my team about this a lot recently, that the thing that separates the top originators from the bottom originators is being a sales savage. Now, what goes into being a sales savage? I think it starts in the morning. I think it starts when you wake up in the morning, your mindset and your mentality of, am I gonna dominate this day or is it another day? And then it comes into like when you get into work, what are you doing when you come into work? Are you coming in here and attacking the day with like a plan, a lethal plan of exactly what you're gonna do, who you're gonna attack? Every client you talk to needs your help. Like, what's your mentality when you're taking calls, when you're coming into your day? But then we took it even a step further, okay? We started doing audits on some folks and we found out that somebody would get a text message from a client. They'd say, yeah, I'm interested. The salesperson would respond back to the client and say, okay, well, what were you looking to get done? And then the client wouldn't answer, and then the salesperson wouldn't text them or call them again all the way up to like the next day. And like that right there is not being a savage. So let's talk about it. That's not being a savage. And what I mean by that is, like, if a savage was on that text message with that client, like myself, it would have never just stopped where it's like, yeah, I'm interested. Okay, what are you interested in? They stop answering. It would have been like 5 minutes later, hey, did you get my last text? And then a phone call. Then 2 hours later, hey, I'm trying to help you, but I haven't heard back from you. Then another phone call, then another text, and another phone call. Like, a savage would exhaust the client or the prospect by following up many times. So a savage's touch points throughout a day is like 6 to 8 touch points, while the average person responds one time and thinks they're doing enough. And the savage thinks they're never doing enough. There's always more that they could be doing. So I think about communication when I think about a sales savage. It's like a sales savage communicates so many times throughout the day through text, email, voicemail. They're not scared to double tap somebody or triple tap somebody. It's because like the average person's scared, like, oh, what if they answer and they get mad because I called them twice or 3 times? The savage is like, if they answer whatever they say, I'm gonna like overcome it and talk to them and figure out why they need help and show them why I'm the person to help them. Like, there's a confidence level to being a savage. And if you're listening to this and you're wondering like, okay, so like, how do I become a savage? Like, how do I think like that? Well, it starts with your self-belief. Like, you have to truly believe that you are the best individual that could help the client out. You have to truly believe your product or service truly makes an impact and a difference on somebody's life. And if you truly believe that, then you will start speaking like that. Then you will start acting like that. Then the savagery will start coming out. And when I say savagery, I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean like a savage, like with passion and with like exhaustion and with like confidence and with like closing, that kind of savage. And if you're still like, okay, well, I can't think like that, then you know what you need to do? You need to practice your craft and get more confident. Focus more on training until you do feel confident enough like you are the person to help them. So that's what I think about when I think about a savage. I also think about when you're talking to somebody on the phone, a savage has a deep conversation with somebody and they truly understand the pain points and pleasure points. Why? Because a sales savage understands, the more I know about this client, the more I could help this client. A sales savage doesn't wait for objections. They squash objections before they even arise, and they're thinking about them in their head while they're talking to a client. The average person asks questions, gets answers. They sound like 90% of the other salespeople in their industry. They all sound the same. There's nothing special about them. There's no forward thinking of what's the objection going to be or why do they need this or going deep. It's just like question, answer. Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Could I take your order? Cheeseburger, we have a cheeseburger. Here's a cheeseburger.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
When the savage is like, welcome to the Good Burger, what brings you in here? And when's the last time you've been here? And why is this sandwich important to you? And what's your budget for this sandwich? And they're like discovering and going through discovery with the client and then having a surprise element at the end to give them a solve for their deep pain points or pleasure points. You see, a savage understands, a sales savage, they understand that the conversation It's an examination. You're dissecting somebody and their life, and then you're trying to give a solve for X. And X is what you uncover throughout the phone call. The average salesperson doesn't even have an X and doesn't even know what X is. It's just like, well, here's what you want. Here's how I could get it for you. Do you want it or not? The savage is like, you might want this. I'm going to find out why you want this, why you don't have this, what's happened before, what's going to happen in the future, and I'm going to tell you what you need. It's like a professional. It's like a doctor, right? They give you their prescription. They don't tell you, do you want Vicodins? Do you want a surgery? Or do you want to, get poked in your ass? Like, a doctor doesn't say that to you. A doctor does your x-ray and they prescribe you at the end. Like, hey, here's what's going on. Here's what I think you need. They don't ask you, what do you want? What do you think you need? It's like, here's what I think you need. So I think a savage understands that. When I think of sales savage, I think of somebody that is willing to put in the work. The average person, it's like, they'll come in 9 to 6. It's like,
I had a shitty day, go home. I had a shitty day, go home.
The savage will come in 8 to 6, 9 to 6. At 6 o'clock, they didn't have a good day or they're more busy. And it's like, I got to stay. I got more business, or I am not having a good day. I'm going to stay an extra hour. I'm going to force a good day. I'm going to put in the weekend. The savage says it's the 26th of the month. I have 4 days to get 10 deals. The average says it's the 26th of the month. Well, maybe I could get one more deal this month. Which all goes back to the mindset we talked about in the beginning. So the savage is willing to put in the work. Lastly, what I really think the savage and the average, when I think about it, it's really about the savage person knows their goals, they know their purpose, they know their why, and they're not letting anybody get in the way of that, right? They're stiff-arming people left and right. No one's getting in their path. Where the average person's like,
yeah, I know my why and my purpose, but they're getting bulldozed to the left and bulldozed to the right.
They don't even have the strength to block things off of their path because they're not so focused on their path. They say they know what they want, and they say they want it, but do you really want it? If you're getting stiff-armed and bulldozed to the left and right, and you get down on yourself fast, you give up early, and you get negative, and you complain, you don't got a purpose or a why. If you really had a purpose and a why, you wouldn't be complaining and getting negative because you're like, hey, I got a purpose and a why. I heard something from Andrew Tate, and he was saying men that say they want to wake up happy is not real men. Because a real man wakes up and he says to himself, whether I'm happy or not, doesn't matter. I'm going to go out there and sacrifice so the people that I love and the things that I fight for are going to be happy. Doesn't matter about my happiness. All that matters is the sacrifice I'm making the people I love happy, or going to make the people I love happy.
I think a man should have absolutely no interest in whether he's actually happy or not. If I wake up and I'm unhappy, I will do the exact same things as if I am happy. I will go to the gym the same. I will work the same. How I feel has no impact on how I live my life.
And a real man puts himself last, and he fights for his purpose or his why. That's what a real man is. So a lot of people are not real men because it's like,
but I don't feel good, and I need to talk.
They're having therapy sessions on social media. Those are not real men. Real men hunt and gather for their family and loved ones. And right now, I still believe in this time and age, we're hunting and we're gathering for our loved ones. I come in here every day and I go to war for the people I love. Doesn't matter how I feel, I need to perform. And savages understand that. So it all comes down to that. It's like, hey, Ace, what's the difference between the top and the bottom? Hey, Ace, what's your best sales tip? That's what it is. It's like, look, you got to get in the savage mindset. And the things I just listed to you are what make the savage mindset. So write down those things I listed to you and ask yourself, what things am I doing? What things am I not? How do I stop doing them? The best way to replace a bad habit is with a good habit. A lot of people are addicted to the wrong things. They're addicted to gambling. They're addicted to drugs. They're addicted to depression. They think they have anxiety all the time. And I understand that can be tough for some people, but you have to understand the same way you're addicted to those things, you could be addicted to the opposite of those things. I'm addicted to gambling. I could be addicted to not gambling. How do I get addicted to stop gambling? Right? I could be addicted to drinking, or I could be addicted to not drinking, right? And it's the same exact way. It's hard to stop drinking. Well, it could be hard to keep drinking. You got to choose your hard. So like a lot of times a savage understands there's going to be sacrifice either way. You got to choose the sacrifice and what it's worth. That's what I believe. Look, if you're in sales, we have a sales academy that'll change your life and make you this savage. If you're in mortgages, we have a mortgage masterclass that'll make you a mortgage savage. And if you're a leader, servant leader, we have a leadership masterclass that'll make you an expert leader and form a championship culture. It's on acezacademy.com. Comes with the full book bundle, the playbook, the blueprint planner, and the virtual training and weekly coaching calls. We'd love to have you. If you don't have a budget for that, you're probably not a savage yet. No big deal, we're gonna make you a savage. We have free communities for you as well that you could join. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the channel with anybody you love, because a true savage appreciates value and they spread love and positivity so it could come back to them. It's the Aces.